So, in this video, I'm walking you through the steps I've taken to fix and edit this washed out photo. Okay, so first I'm just going to straighten out the photo using the transform tools and the crop tool, just to make sure those horizontal lines look straight. Next, I'm going to start with the tone curve, which I think is a game changer, especially for fixing washed out photos, but also in general. Just for personal preference, I pulled the white point down first and then started with a simple S-curve. Then I just made a few tweaks based on what I thought looked good for this photo. So if you want the short version, you could probably get away with this and a few more steps. The dehaze, fixing the temperature and exposure if necessary, and adjusting the HSL sliders for the skin tone. But I'm just going to continue with the complete process of how I would edit this photo. I'm going to go back to the tone curve and into the color channels. Starting with red, I'm going to make a subtle S-curve. And then I'm just going to copy and paste the exact values from the red channel onto the blue and green channel. You might be able to copy and paste the points onto the other channels, but if not, you'll have to just manually do it. So because we are trying to achieve that white and blue color palette, I'm going to adjust my temperature and tint to be as neutral as possible. And then you can just continue on in this panel with whatever adjustments are necessary for your specific photo. Then in the HSL panel, I'm mainly targeting the skin tones and the blue of her jacket. Okay, and then next it looks like there's still some yellowish color in the whites of the walls, and I want it to be as white as possible, so I am adding a cooler tone in the highlights to balance it out. If you put the saturation slider all the way to the top, you can see how it affects the photo, so just want to add a little bit. So the background walls were looking a bit warm and not as white as I would have liked, so I went back to the color channels. I am lifting this point here to bring out more blues, and I also did the same thing with the greens. So we are pretty much done. Here I am making a few tweaks. And then I just made two local adjustments on the bottom. The ground part was still looking a little bit green, so I just desaturated that with the graduated filter. And then also at the top, it was looking a little bit yellow, so I also desaturated that. And this is the final edit.